This video is about the Lightning PSA Agreement Request page, which is the upgraded version of the current Cactus Classic Agreement Request page in the Salesforce system. The request page is for clinical services campus faculty is providing to an outside entity. The request page is only for outgoing clinical services, call coverage, and medical directorships. The current page in Lightning looks much like the Cactus Classic. It has 6 sections. The first is information, and you would still type in your project title. It has 3 actions: new, renewal, and amendment. If you choose renewal or amendment, and if you know the previous SA number or record number and you are accurate about it, please include it, as this will allow us to link the 2 records together. Once that is complete, you have the requester section. And it asks for the standard information, such as UCSF department, who is requesting the information, and so on and so forth. We have updated quite a bit of the hover and help text to help you navigate through the form. And you will see them here. If you know the name of the other party and you can find it in the system, such as Alameda as an example. Select it. However, if it is not in the system or you're unable to find it, you can also type it in the other field. There's the address for the other party and the site type. And this is important so we know whether it's a hospital, a clinic, a medical group, or a hospital-based clinic. This will help us in negotiating the appropriate agreement. Then we have explanation of services. You have your proposed start date and your proposed end date. Sometimes, after negotiations, these might not be the dates that show up on your agreement, but at least it is something that informs us as to what sort of term you are looking for. And it does have also helpful text here to guide you on what sort of dates we're looking at. If you have any agreement concerns, you would list them here. And then in this section, there's also the type of services you can have in a PSA. And we also have helpful text here to tell you what sort of services there are. For any service that you are providing, we ask for a detailed scope and frequency that you are providing the services. Example, 2 times, 3 times a week, or 4 hours per day. We have telemedicine services, medical direction, call coverage. You have whether an individual is providing the services or the department or division. We do have a described benefit to UCSF, which is a multi-select, and you just select what is necessary and accurate for your agreement. Then we also have value to the other party. Again, it's a multi-select, and you select what is accurate and necessary for your agreement. Then we come to financial considerations, and it asks a few questions, and these questions tend to be flags just to ensure that the PSA is the right agreement for the services that you are trying to provide. Are you leasing equipment, space, or other resources? If you are, perhaps another unit might be the better unit to assist you in this agreement. Since a PSA is generally for outgoing clinical services of faculty on campus. Now we come to the billing section, which is all about whether you are charging a rate to the other party or if you're billing the pro fees. And this is where most changes have occurred on this request page since the upgrade to Lightning. So we may better capture fair market value and be compliant with federal rules and regulations regarding these types of clinical services. And we have an explanation of what fair market value means. So if you have, let's say the other party is in fact billing the pro fees, chances are UCSF is billing a flat rate to the other party. And we have sections here to ask you if you have any billing issues. And it does have a help text here as to what sort of billing issues might occur. And again, this is a flag if your compensation is outside this percentile range of an approved survey. It's a discussion we will probably have with UCSF counsel or UCOP legal counsel. Here it does tell you that if you have any type of backstop language, such as a revenue guarantee or a subsidy arrangement, we will have to consult with the Office of Legal Affairs. So at this stage, we would like you to provide as much information as possible. However, you can still submit if you don't have all the documentation to support the source for your fair market value rate. But if it is submitted to the Dean's office for approval, it will likely be sent back unless an explanation can be given. And in the chance that it is routed to business contracts, the contract specialist will still request the FMV documentation since it is required, so we can be compliant with the rules and regulations. So for every service rate that you charge, such as in this case, professional services rate, say 200, there's a source for that FMV. And here's a list of sources that you can depend on. And you would just select what is appropriate for your agreement. And it does tell you what happens here if there is no FMV documentation uploaded. An agreement cannot be finalized unless there is a consultation with UC Legal. And here we'd like the documentation for your FMV. You upload the file. Once that is uploaded, for each service rate you are charging, hit save. And it will bring us to the personnel page. Previously, you had to enter a specific name or all the names of the campus faculty that are providing services. But we understand that departments and divisions might have all their faculty provide services, so that is no longer necessary. However, if you have just one or two clinicians providing services, we still recommend that you list their names so you may be able to track which clinician is providing services under which agreement. You will see that here we have fields for residents, fellows, and additional UCSF personnel that is outside of faculty, such as med center staff. And this is because a PSA, again, is typically for campus faculty. However, if you wish to have fellows, residents, and other staff on the agreement, we would have to verify that this is fine with the appropriate units. This is not to say that they're not able to be on the agreement, but there's still more checks that we have to, more steps we have to take to ensure that it is appropriate. So then here is the saved version. I see on your right, you have 3 buttons: edit, clone, submit. As you see here, the FMV for document for the professional services is uploaded. You can still provide notes for the approving dean to review if you have any, or for the business contracts team who negotiates the agreement. And under here, you have the agreement request history. And let's say that you are fine with this request. You will hit submit. As you can see, it does flag the sections that are necessary for you to submit this request. In the interest of time on this video, we did not fill all these sections out. Finally, the clone feature. Let's say this agreement is fine and you wish to do another agreement that's quite similar to this one. You hit the clone feature, and here, the same exact agreement comes in. You can make changes as you wish. You can add your personnel if you have any changes. And you can even change the rate. And hit save. As you can see, the clone has turned into its own agreement request. Here are the changes have taken, and if you look at the right side, there are no files uploaded because this is a new request. You can upload files, new notes, and that's what you have.